Hello everyone, this is Team's Adventures. Just to let you know that the current editor that's editing this is myself instead of our usual editor, all because of a little thing called appendicitis. I've had this before, so I know how much it hurts, so I'm going to let him take a break and I will do most of the editing. So prepare to see some sucky editing. Enjoy! Hello everyone, welcome to Pixelcast. I'm your host, Team's Adventures, and along with me we have a special guest who has the only professional microphone, Aquabalde11.
Hello. Okay.
Along with me to interview Aquablade is
Me, Iron.
And me.
if you may remember Meep from when we interviewed Burninator. Anyway, Meep, you got the first question to ask Aquablade.
Um, what were your favorite and least favorite scenes plot-wise?
All right. First, I'll just say in general for questions, I am doing a Q&A video at some point. These questions, the answers I give to these questions are going to be like first thing that pops in my head. But if there's like a repeat question in the Q&A video, it'll be more well thought out ahead of time. So if my answer changes, that's why. But all right, least favorite and favorite scenes for plot-wise. Favorite scene is probably when Harthon reunites with Amanda. And least favorite, when Harthon and Xylee are talking in the desert when they first meet. That's my least favorite episode because I find it kind of boring. But yeah.
Alright, Iron, you got the next question.
All right. If you could go back in time and change one thing about the series which you think would make it better now that the series is done, what would that be? Like,
Well, Oh yeah, sorry. Yes, there are two things that I don't like very much that I hated throughout the whole making of the series that I want to improve upon the next time. That is, first of all, is the backgrounds, because I honestly just searched on Google for things I could find, and I don't know, they didn't always work out too well. I feel like they should be handmade like the sprites were. And the other thing is the dialogue and how it scrolls across the screen, like between slide to slide. Not many people have complained about that, to be honest, but I'm always unsure if it's on screen long enough or too short enough for everyone to be able to read it before it goes to the next slide. So hopefully I can maybe think of a way to make it go across at a consistent pace so I don't have to worry about that. But I don't know, just ideas in the air right now.
Yeah. What I usually do is I just say it out loud and see how long it takes.
Yep, that's what I did at one point, and then I thought it took too long. I can never find a perfect one, but I feel like I've done okay. But there's always slides like when I'm rewatching it after it's all done, I'm like, oh crap, that went by before I finished reading. I hope everyone else can read faster than me. But yeah.
It also varies on people's computers on how fast they are.
Right.
Also, there's the pause button in case.
Yeah, that's inconvenient though, so I want to avoid having people to do that if possible.
Yeah.
Alright.
I can see that you want to make it appealing to everyone as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
There's always going to be that one person saying that this does not appeal to me.
Yep.
Okay, my turn now for the question. Who is your favorite and least favorite character? And I even saw this in the description in the comment section. This is the most requested question.
Yes, this will be in the video. It's hard to say, to be honest. I want to say I don't think I have one favorite, but my couple favorites that I would say for sure are Kodil and Xylee.
Yes.
I don't know why. I just really like them. My least favorite of all the characters that actually had names and were important, Queen Toria.
I agree with Kodil there.
Yeah, Kodal is one of my favorite characters, though my all-time favorite character has to be Nordak.
Yeah, he's probably, if I had to have like tiers of my favorites, he'd be in the next tier of favorites. So,
And my least favorite character is actually Jaros.
oh, I'm surprised. A lot of people seem to like him.
Well, I'm not too fond of people that start out bad like that, to where they're pretty much bullies, because it's basically a personal reason. How about you,
That makes
mate?
sense.
Ah. He has some real life stuff going on. He's the next person to ask a question.
That's fine. come back to him if you want.
Okay. Iron, you have the second question now.
Oh boy. All right, this is a little more specific, but in the last episode, where you could see like when Harthan apologized to Xanax successfully, and he turned into Father Pandas.
Mm-hmm.
I think very many people were actually pretty confused about that. And the question here is, would you like to explain the exact detail of that, like, let's say, transformation, or do you want to make it, leave it to the imagination of your viewers?
Well, it wasn't really a transformation per se. It's just something that Penda says is that some people have strong enough spirit where they have a fully conscious mind when they are inside the weapon. Xandox, Pendus, and Harthon were all examples of this. So Xandox wasn't exactly a lost spirit, quote unquote, if you want to call it that. He was fully conscious and like, yep, we're just destroying the world and everything. And then after Harthon said the thing, whatever he said, both Xandox hesitated for a minute, and then Pendus was able to nullify his power. I don't know if I guess that wasn't really well explained, but that's what it meant to symbolize.
All right, okay.
That makes sense. And Meep, are you back with us?
Yep.
Okay, now it's your turn to give the second question.
If you decided a Zukhanov sequel was in order, would you direct it again, or would you give the reins to someone else?
It would definitely be me. Because I'm really picky about that everything. But if someone wants to make like a fan sequel, they're more than welcome to. Just obviously wouldn't be canon. But yeah, and I do have an idea for a story. I don't know if it'll go exactly the way I'm picturing it, or if it even will exist at all. But yeah, that's all I can really say about it.
Alright, now for my second question, that actually kind of falls suit with if you do a Zukhanov sequel. If you do a sequel, will you ask someone to do backgrounds?
I'm thinking about it. Like I said before, that was one of the things I want to improve upon. I want to see how it goes. Like, I could ask someone to and see how they make them and if they work. We'll see. It's all up in the air, but it's something I definitely want to try to do.
Well, you're talking to someone that does backgrounds for a living.
All right. Well, I can consider you if you'd like.
Alright. In fact, I actually asked you multiple times about the background thing.
Yep. It's just I did remember that. It's just once the series, like the backgrounds were one way for a while before you were offering, but like it's kind of hard. It's kind of too late to go back now. That's really what I was thinking. But in the future, I'll consider it for this potential sequel.
Okay. Okay, Meep. Final question.
I actually had one, and then I just forgot about it. I'll probably find it.
Alright, we'll give you time to think about it. Iron, your final question, which was said as soon as which you posted as soon as Aquabalde joined the group chat.
Yeah, following. The episode where Varudus went up to King Omoro and killed him, and like Wraither was right there, and everyone knew Wraither had Yarful juice from the two pigs, and I was sitting there wondering, well, Wraither, you're a pretty big thing because you didn't use Yarful just to kill King Omoro.
Yes. I guess I wasn't thinking of that at the moment because those had a specific purpose in the storyline later, which was...
Yeah, I figured that later when it happened.
Yeah, one was... I think Harthon during one of the battles against Xandox, one with Emenda, I forgot when the other one was used. But yeah, they were all in mind when I had put them in there. I was like, oh, I didn't think, oh, he has him here. Why doesn't he use him here? So yeah, I didn't really think of that. But Amuro had to die, so I'm okay with this.
It just seemed funny because like Wraither went there to save him, and like was just like, nah, I'm gonna let him die, nah.
He's just as forgetful as me, I guess. He was, oh, I had these. I won't tell anyone.
Oops.
Yeah, that's why I saw it. I went, why didn't you just heal him?
I accidentally made up for a very funny scene and good one as well.
Okay, that's good.
If someone did a Spider Sins of Zukhanov, that'd be the biggest one for that episode.
Probably.
Okay. What are your thoughts on a fan RP group that's on DeviantArt right now that I actually made last night. Focus on Zukanov.
Wait, what, was that a question?
Yeah, what are your thoughts on the fact that
Oh,
there's a Zukanov fan RP group going on right now on DeviantArt?
Whatever, it's fine. I probably won't partake in it, but you're more than welcome to.
In fact, to make things better for it, I actually even made it to where it's based on a different timeline and dimension.
Ah, okay, cool.
I'm actually joining right now because I couldn't yesterday.
Actually, I already finished my character too, which is actually a Simulian Jazarian Crow.
I actually do have a fan character.
You have 5 of them, Meep.
No, I actually have 3 that I know are designed, and then just 1 that I actually have the official sprite for.
Okay.
Meep, do you have your final question ready?
I feel like I'm probably just gonna say something about the ship.
About Xylee and Rafer?
Oh yeah, I figured that. I first was assuming that back in, I think like episode 11, when Xylee was first suspected to be dead and fell in the water to get the miracle juice.
What's the question exactly?
I'm not sure. Honestly, I'm not too sure. This is the one question I was having trouble coming up with.
If the question is, are they really together? Well, the ending said rumors because it was kept secret. So I guess I can't confirm it for sure, but that's what they say at least.
And before in the sequel, it focuses on their kid.
Oh boy.
That would be interesting combo, though.
It would be. There we go.
Oh, we already have one in the form of Brutus.
That's true. Wait, I actually have a question, if you mind if I take it from you, Meep.
Go ahead.
What are your thoughts about the other races similar to the Ice Tribe in Jazeera? What would their types be in the other nations?
Well, I didn't really think, honestly, that they all had to have one. It's just, I just wanted one of the characters, one of the main characters. I thought, water, well, why not ice? That can expand the abilities the water people can do. Because otherwise, how many combinations of shooting water at someone can you make? I made Wraither, and then I thought, you know what? Why should he have to be the only one? I'll make it. He's the last one of a previous group of people that were all ice or something like that. I don't know, but I've always pictured the character of Wraither, his role, him being an ice-related character. And I don't know. I never thought the other nations should have them, but if I ever do make a sequel, there will be more mixtures of races. So we'll have to think of combinations. One combination I've already thought of is if Fire or Gara mixes with Semula, I would think lightning because it's a thing of nature and it starts fires. So, just random thought.
I was like the fan thing that we are all thinking of, to where Simulia's secondary type will be ground and Garen will be lightning.
Yeah, I think I did watch your first one about this, so I recall that.
One with the awkward silence.
So much awkward silence.
That was just the first time actually doing it. Anyway, I think I have a better question now.
Ooh.
Okay.
And what? And of course, like myself, I ended up forgetting it.
There's not a limit to the questions I can ask, so no worries.
I can probably remember it. Oh yeah. Would you probably have included more team attacks? Because there were only 3 that were used in the entire series.
Yeah, I guess that is one thing I wish I'd done more of, but it was just something I thought, oh hey, team attacks were a thing, and I think I did a couple in the Aquabalde Chronicles, but I was like, yeah, why not make more of those? But I guess I just didn't think of them when I was making parts of the story, and like, oh, here's a battle going on. I guess I didn't think, oh, they should use a team attack here, because most of the time, I'm just thinking at a lot of the battles, either they were all characters that had just met, like, you know, Xylee, Wraither, they didn't have time to think of a team attack together, or were fighting an enemy, or a villain who's just by themselves. And so they don't have a team to use a team attack with. So I guess it just was really inconvenient to ever happen. But yeah, I do wish there were more of them. I just don't think there were that many opportunities for them to.
That makes sense.
I can actually see an opportunity against Xandox, though.
I guess so. I really wanted Hearthon and Xylee to use their team attack again, but it only would work in Gara, because cactuses only grow in, or cacti, would be in only the desert area, and their attack, only worked in that environment. So.
Also, I think I think I unintentionally predicted the reveal of Yarful's. Where I just mentioned in a couple streams that maybe Hearthon should actually have seeds so he can use Mega Tree anywhere he wants to. But instead of using them to grow into trees, they grow into Synhelia.
Yep, the reason I gave Hearthon the ability to just grow plants is I felt like that was very, what's the word? It was so simple that it could be used in a million different ways, like grow a giant tree to attack someone, grow Yarful to heal someone, grow grass that can protect you, which I know is kind of lame, but it works.
Fireproof grass.
And it was a bit.
Everybody likes fireproof tank grass.
Or even make vines to get out of a window.
Yes. But yeah, the reason for the grass, another part that that it's supposed to be protective is that they're hiding in the tall grass, so the attacks don't hit them as accurately. But I don't know, that probably wasn't very well shown because things.
Actually, it was because like you could see them behind the grass very much.
Yeah, but I didn't want to cover their character completely, or they might as well not even be there. So.
But the biggest thing people wondered is how grass is stronger than fire.
It was really, really thick grass. It was really, really moisturized grass that couldn't catch fire.
Right, pass.
Best explanation for fireproof grass.
So typing.
Let's see. Ooh, I'm actually curious about this. I have not even seen one character. This is actually always in relation to my own character a little bit, but none of them were avian. I know it's just a sprite, but would you ever have planned an avian sprite?
Oh, it was like a bird character. Well, SSGX designed all of the characters and like what animal they were based off of, so that's all up to him, to be honest, if he designs the next future characters. But yeah, all I did was to him I basically described the character's name, their abilities, the role I expect them to play in the story, and a bit of their personality and stuff like that, and he took the design from that point. So I guess none of them really struck him as would work for avian. Oh, except for King Yajkin.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, King Yajkin, he actually based him off of Skarmory, the Pokemon, because of my Skarmory named Yajkin. So.
And the fact that Zento could fly, I would think that would be a good avian base too.
Mm-hmm.
That's everything.
Zento was more like Muten Roshi from Dragon Ball, like.
Yes. So we get Master Roshi on Nimbus.
Whole turtle.
I think the joke was that just a turtle that had the potential to go really fast.
Well, I don't know. I guess are we talking about Zento?
Yeah, Zento.
He just, I described SSGX. He's like a wise old man who, I don't know, is a retired general who has the power of wind. And I don't know, he came up with a turtle because he thought it was like they're usually portrayed in other things as like being old and wise and stuff. I think the example he used was Oogway from Kung Fu Panda.
Yep, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah.
And I'm guessing the flying element came mostly from Master Roshi from Dragon Ball Z.
Actually, that was more plot convenience, but that works too.
Best explanation for it.
And, they need to get back to this point they need to get back to Semula really quickly for the next events to occur. But clearly, walking there will take all the past episodes in length of time. So we need someone to be able to fly. Oh, Zento works. So that's how I figured that out.
Another thing, I've actually seen some people say this in the comments as well, but there's very little variety in NPC characters other than the guards and the couple.
Yeah, I agree with that. I just didn't want to ask SSGX to make so many characters that are only going to appear for one scene or two, but I guess if he's okay with making NPCs, then he can. The only place I really did okay with was the pub in Jizero with my Aquablade sprites that he made at one point.
The Aqua clones.
That was the only area that had variety. in my opinion. At least some variety, not that much, but
Yeah, right. The Gator Slums or whatever it was called.
Swamp Gator, yeah.
Gator, awesome name.
And also during that scene, I was actually looking close, saying, "Where's the Feraligator? Where's the Feraligator sprite?" Were you actually ever tempted to put your own self sprite there?
I mean, that was the one I wanted to put, the SSGX version, because I didn't want the styles to clash, and my own character is literally a Feraligator, so I didn't really want a Pokemon in it. But, yeah.
I think I can remember a question. Who would win in a fight? Lyron with Xandox's staff thing, and the Scythe one at the end in the beginning of episode 20 at its full power, or Salvar?
Well, they're kind of on different levels, because Salivar was literally the god who created the world of that universe, whereas Xandox was just like a really powerful sorcerer who just happened to have all elements and trained all the years of his life in mastering them. So it's two completely different scenarios, but just based on the logic there, I feel like Salivar would win, but only because of his situation, if that makes sense.
Unless Lyron gets the help from Mario.
Oh yeah, or all the characters that combined that all came at the last convenient second of that series.
Or
And Eradicate was super
Eradicate.
Mm-hmm.
Eradicates are the real saviors.
Yep, honestly, if I was lazy, I could have just, for the Salivar battle all those years ago, I don't know why I'm talking about this, but, like, I could have just had someone have a, the episode before that, Aquablade used a Gengar to use Destiny Bond on Skull Saber. She could have just used like a Destiny Bond to kill Salivar.
I'm the all-powerful god. Destiny Bond. Crap.
I was actually thinking more Rattata.
Yeah, that would have worked too, but I guess I wanted to. I don't remember honestly everything that was going on in my mind back then, but I guess I wanted it to not be that cheap and lazy, but could have been.
Another thing I've actually noticed I'm bringing up a lot of questions from the comments from memory, actually, because I'm not even looking at the videos comments section. But someone questioned about why Xandox had no SP, so is it safe to assume that he has infinite SP?
That it did at once. One of the passive abilities in the world was not having SP. The first character to show that was King Kerald of Nezero. The other characters who happened to have it later on were Xandox and Lorime. So.
And then Candace just.
Right, Lorime didn't have SP.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, I always thought that like her wind arrow was like just her regular standard attack.
I don't know. I actually there was a point in the series where I wanted Lorime to have, like, just as much power as Xandox. Just she never knew it. But I don't know. I think I liked how I made her character in the end. Anyway, how I went with it. That is.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Ooh, I have another thing. I'm just getting questions off the top of my head now.
That's fine.
The whole thing is a question at the finale. I'm curious, why didn't Harfon get a chance to speak with Sinvos?
Sinvos. Well, I never had a sprite plan for him, or him to appear ever. Because the silhouette of him in the prologue is literally just Lyron's armor, without the legs. So I guess that's one reason. I just never planned for him to appear. And also, if I want an excuse for storyline reason, the same reason he wasn't locked in the weapon was the same reason Amanda's spirit was rejected, because they both have the power of absorption, so they repelled each other, if that makes sense. So.
Okay.
I'm just getting a lot of questions, but when I first saw the preview for the finale, I actually thought that Harfon would fuse with Sinvos to fight Lyron.
No, I don't know. The hero Sinvos, I always planned for that character to be never appearing, just always being something that's talked about and speculated about, and you never really know everything about him, except you know a little bit more about him at the very end when Xandox explains the real history behind him. And when Lyron quickly says before fighting that he actually didn't want to save Zukanov, he wanted to overthrow Xandox and steal his power. Just basically, the point of saying that was that, basically not to think that he was an all-good person. He was just another person in history trying to make his mark, or whatever.
Would you ever consider animating what actually happened that fateful day when Xandox was killed the first time?
I don't really feel the need to. I feel like it was really described really well in the prologue, and when Xandox talks about it, it would basically just be a battle between the Sinvos, the three of the others, and Xandox. It wouldn't really be. I don't know. I don't think it would really be that interesting, to be honest. That's just my opinion, though.
Maybe a lot of people want to know what the three would actually have looked like.
That's a good question. I never planned for their sprites to appear ever in the series either, except they would resemble their weapon, sorta. Like the Flower Lance, I wanted Semula to be their natural abilities would revolve around flower petals or something like that. My inspiration for that would be Marluxia from Kingdom Hearts.
Figures.
But yeah, and then I think I don't know what the other two would look like, to be honest. Zero could look something. He had the literal Aquablade.
Yes.
So
Could have just been for alligator.
Oh, yeah, your old intro back when you used the SSGX sprite. I mean, rep.
maybe. But yeah, that's really. I guess never planned for them to appear. But yeah.
There's actually something what if the prequel was turned into a game? Because before this whole interview, Meep, and I were chatting, thinking that if there was a prequel, you can make it a game to where people can choose viewpoint of of Sinvos or the viewpoint of Xandox. To where if you choose the hero side, you would gain victory, but if you choose Xandox, you get to struggle and actually try to fight for victory, but in the end, you will lose.
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, this is just my opinion. But if you know the outcome, it doesn't really matter what you do. Is there? I don't know. I guess I really have no intention of making anything prequel-wise. If I do make another Zukanov, it will be technically a sequel, but almost like none of the characters that we know will appear again. It'll be the same universe, but so many years later that it'll either just be descendants of them or not relate to them at all.
So more like Zelda sequels.
Except not the same characters, but yes.
Yeah. Okay.
My best comparison would be, I don't know how familiar you guys are with it, but The Legend of Korra as opposed to Last Airbender. It's the same universe, but so many years later that the other characters are basically not even there.
Except for
they references to them and they pop up just as be like old people to give random advice, but that's about it.
You could do that with Laura May, make her pop up.
I would plan on that, yes. And I actually have a character. Oh no, this is an idea, nothing set in stone. But I do have an idea for a character, Rather's child. I want him to have. Actually, I'm not going to say anymore. But I do have an idea for a character for Rather's child. That's all I'm going to say.
Confirm Xylee Rather children.
Maybe.
Maybe we'll know someday.
Someday in 3,000 years.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right. Another question which still won't let me go.
Oh boy.
Pip and me already know what I want to talk about.
Oh boy.
The thing is, right, when first was mentioned that like Lyron was the nephew of King Omoro, and was like in episode 2 or something like that, and I was like, huh. So the King of Semula is some spider dude. That's cool. Then we see King Omoro, and I'm like, wait, hold on a second. What is this?
Yeah,
How is this the uncle of Lyron?
Okay, I can see why. First of all, I never told SSGX that they were related when I asked him to make their sprites. So to make up for that, when Harthon talks to Omoro when he first revealed, I throw in Omoro saying, "Ah, yes, my nephew Lyron, he takes after his mother more than his father, which is a good thing because anything from my brother would be horrible." That's all I threw in there to make up for that, to be honest.
I'm curious
All right.
about this. Even though you probably didn't tell us, Jax, but one thing that I noticed about Amaro and Nordak is actually that they're both wolves, so I'm wondering if they're related in some way.
No, they're not related at all. I don't remember. I honestly don't remember what SSGX based Amaro off of. I just know he based Nordak off of Wolf because I described him as like being like a dark, sinister character who's like secretly evil. I don't know. He just thought Wolf was a good for that type of character. I don't know. Now that I think about it, actually, for the kings and queens of the nations, I didn't really give him much description to go off of. I kind of just wanted him to do what he wanted with them. And I think just Amaro was a character he just thought looked cool or something. So.
Let's see.
I still think the King of Gara. I've forgotten his name right now.
Burnham.
Yeah, right. When I saw the royal family of Gara first, I was like, oh, they kind of look like lions. Slightly.
I think they're based just off of. SSJ's probably based them off of this, but they're based off of bombs, dynamite, because their powers involve exploding themselves. So it makes sense.
And that's one thing that I noticed just in the last episode. It was literally then when I noticed that Galiron had like these two dynamite thingies on his back, and I was like, oh, I never noticed that before.
Yep.
Actually, there's one more thing. It kind of irks me a little. I think it irked a lot of people with the finale.
Uh-oh.
The fact that Nordak was standing next to Xandox and he didn't have a nerdgasm. What's your explanation for that?
I know. The last scene, I had a really hard time making. The scene where all the characters came back to life, because I wanted it to be concise, what they all say. I didn't want it to drag out, because they succeeded. What more can they really babble about? Like, oh my god, we did it! I can't wait to frolic around the world and be happy and stuff. But I guess I also had no intention for Nordak, Varutus, or Xandox to say anything. Because they were, of that group, I guess Galaron was kind of evil too, and Cleotra, and maybe other people, but I just didn't want them to say anything during that scene, because they were like, oh, we lost, and then be speechless or something like that. I don't know.
I'm curious. Is another thing for the sequel again? Would you ever consider doing voice acting for it, or get voice actors?
It's something I've thought about a lot, but I don't think so. One thing I have thought of, this is just an idea, could easily drop this idea, but instead of a voice, like a sound effect? I don't know how to describe it unless I give you guys like a game where it's used in. But like, what's that?
Kind of like Fire Emblem Awakening.
That sorta, but not quite. Like, this is a bad example, but like Animal Crossing, like their words go across the screen, and you hear like their animal sounds going blah 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 blah.
Oh, right, on the Lilac language in Star Fox 64.
I guess I'm not sure what you're thinking of.
It's basically some blabberish that nobody can understand.
Okay, maybe something like that. Just, yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. I really don't know how to describe it, but just like a sound effect that plays as their text scrolls across the screen. Because that's another thing, like I said earlier, I'd like the text to scroll across the screen at a consistent pace. I don't have to sit there and wait. Has it been long enough? Has it been long enough? Next slide, and so on and so forth.
The voice acting, that won't be too big of a problem since people will be able to hear it.
The thing is, though, with voice acting, you need someone to be really good at it, in my opinion. If you get someone who's not, it will make the series worse and not better. And I don't know if I'm willing to take that risk.
Also, you would need everyone who would be voice acting would require them to have a qualitative, good microphone.
Correct. Yep, lots of factors have to go into making sure it actually makes the series better and not worse.
Yeah.
That's understandable. In fact, get this, I've actually watched the series and someone got a part just because he recorded off of 3DS in a closet.
Interesting.
Pretty legit.
Causes
Well, I guess. Sorry.
it's okay. Causes have no echo, so.
So, yeah.
Do you guys have any other questions to give to Aquablade?
I was probably gonna say something like your favorite fan theory.
That's a
Third fan theory? I don't know if I have one personally, because I like to make the series in a way where I try to make people have theories about it, and then be proven completely wrong. Like, I tried to make it imply that Emenda was evil, when in reality she was just affiliated with them, but not wanting to be with them.
That's led to that art piece I did.
Exactly. Things like that. I wanted people to theorize and, I don't know, try to make predictions and then see them completely crushed.
I think the best example is like, I think at the beginning very many people thought like that Father Pendas was the descendant of the hero, because like the symbol of the hero was like purple and yellow.
Yep.
And I think that would be Father Pendas' colors, and I was fooled by that as well, and I was like, interesting.
Yep, the reasons the hero's symbol and all that were purple and yellow is because those are colors that don't resemble any of the nations. So I thought that was something cool that would, the hero, he didn't represent any nation, except, spoilers, he's actually Semulin, or nature, because the word Semulin didn't exist back in his day. But, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Let's see. Will Harfon, this is kind of more sequel, will Harfon ever get back with anyone, or is just Amanda going to be it for him, and he's just going to be kind of claim Lorme as pretty much his only thing for a daughter?
Are you asking if Harthon will get remarried or something?
Yeah.
I do not plan that, no. I guess just looking back at it, though, not Harthon, but I feel like I should have given more to Lyron for what he does after the series, because he didn't really show him doing much at all, except being a good friend of Harthon and helping him with his job every so often. But, again, that was kind of unrelated to what you asked, but, no, yeah, I didn't plan on Harthon remarrying, no.
Alright. Would you kind of destroy his loyalty to Amanda in a way? If it would have happened, in my opinion.
You could say that, but people do it all the time. Not saying it's good, right, but people do it. So.
All right. Do you guys have any other questions?
Nope.
I don't think so.
Alright. Okay, we all have questions. So, AB, do you have anything to say to anyone watching this video?
Not really. I'm glad you enjoyed it. If you didn't enjoy it, I don't know why you're watching a Q&A or an interview about it. But thank you. I really appreciate it.
And with that, this ends the podcast. I think since we had Aquablade here, we should all do this at the same time. I think we all know where I'm going with this, right?
What?
What are we talking about?
I'm lost.
The thing that Aquablade does at the end of every video, other than the dogs interrupting.
Oh, he's
Video.
catchphrase.
Yes, the catchphrase. Okay, guys, here we go. In 3, 2, 1, rock on!
Rock on.
What the hell?
Nail it.
There's just gonna be an version. I feel like there's just gonna be Aquabalde11 with the glasses popping out.
The Million Rock-Ons by Aquablade. Because a video of him saying rock on in so many different voices.
Rock on. I can look on. I can. Like that.
Rock on.
Rock on, everyone.
You can't make me.
It's worth a shot.